These integrals have requisites and conditions which must be observed for the Hajj or the Umrah, for Al-Hajj or Al-Umrah to be valid. For instance, circumambulation requires one to move across a specified distance defined by religious law, beginning at the black stone and ending back at the black stone 7 times. Among its conditions is covering the aura, purity from both states of ritual and purity as required for prayer, and having the Kaaba to one's left during circumambulation without facing or turning one's back to it. Rather, one must walk forward. Note, the sa'i is not valid in the new mas'a, the new track which goes beyond the sa'i boundaries set by the Messenger of Allah. And Nawawi said in his book Al-Majmu' in the chapter of Hajj, in the section of describing Hajj and Umrah, subsection Ash-Shafi'i and the top scholars of his school said it is not permissible to perform sa'i outside of its prescribed area of a pilgrim walks beyond its boundaries in the At-Tarin Ali or elsewhere. His sa'i is not valid because a sa'i is tied specifically to a place and it is not permissible to perform it elsewhere, as is the rule for the tawaf. After this discussion, I'm gonna start talking about the prohibitions of ikram. It is unlawful for the pilgrim who has made the intention of ikram, whether for Hajj or Umrah, to do 8 matters. The first prohibition is to wear perfume for a male or female to use on their clothes or on their body, a substance that is usually sought for its fragrance, such as mass. Doing this prohibition requires expiation, fidya. The second prohibition is to anoint one's beard or head that grows hair with oil, fat, ghee, butter, grease, or melted beeswax. Using such substances for other purposes such as eating is not prohibited except if scented. The third prohibition is to remove or cut one's finger or toenails or one's hair, whether from the head or elsewhere. The fourth prohibition is to perform vaginal or anus, daring, intercourse, or foreplay, all in all, such as lustful kissing, looking, and touching, even if with a barrier. The fifth prohibition is to conduct a marriage contract for oneself or others, such as for one's daughter. Moreover, such a contract is invalid. The sixth prohibition is to hunt a wild edible land animal, to acquire it even by purchasing it. This excludes the inedible, water, or domesticated animal. The seventh prohibition is for the muhrim man to cover the head with what is normally considered to be a head covering, like olensua or a round head covering with no brim Muslim males wear, or to wear a garment that envelopes all or part of the body by way of seaming. The way the garment envelopes the body is by being seamed and sewn together, such as a gown, or by a way of felting or the like. The eighth prohibition is for the mukrim woman to cover the face with what is normally considered to be a covering, or to wear gloves. If one commits any of these unlawful matters knowingly, intentionally, and willfully, one has sinned and is required to expiate. Additionally, sexual intercourse or daring intercourse before the first release from the state of ikram spoils the pilgrimage and enjoins one to immediately make it up and to continue with this spoiled pilgrimage. Moreover, the one who has spoiled their pilgrimage by daring intercourse proceeds with it and does not interrupt it. Then they make it up the following year. As for invalidating Umrah by daring intercourse, one finishes it, then immediately engages in making it up. Daring intercourse before the first release from the state of Ikram, in Arabic called at-tahallul lul awal. At-tahallul lul awal. At-tahallulul awal is achieved by completing two of the following three: throwing the pebbles at Jamratul Aqaba, Tawaf, along with sa'i and shaving or trimming. I'm gonna be articulating the next article under Sharia law book about pilgrimage article. The second pilgrimage article is called Requisites of Pilgrimage. Requisites of Pilgrimage. After I finish discussing the prohibitions of Ihram, I'm gonna start talking about the requisites of pilgrimage. Requisite refers to whatever is compensated for with slaughter,